Hey guys, it's VC Cubing and welcome to my June 2021 collection update. I haven't done one of these since December of 2020. I really hope you enjoy. So starting with my 7 2x2s, we have a Chi S that has been tensioned, and it is quite good, and it's quite cheap. So I actually might recommend this if you're just starting out. This is a great 2x2. I have another one that is not as retentioned. I don't know why I have a second one. I have just my first 2x2, which was just a Rubik's lying on my shelf. It's not even mine. It's very small, so I really wouldn't recommend this. Next up is the Diane Tengyan M. It's an amazing 2x2, and I would recommend it definitely. We have two very similar looking cubes, the GAN 251M, and we have the X-Man Flare 2x2M. These are very high-end cubes, and you might recognize the red pattern from the X-Men Flare. These are pretty good, but they're not the best and will not compete against this. This is the Moyu RS2M. It is my main, and it is very fast, and it's very cheap. So these two are very debatable, but this one is just like infinitely better than this one. So I'm not sure. I just buy this one. Honestly, if you're just going for 2x2, just buy this one. Okay, now moving on to my 5x3, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, minus these, I think, would be all of my 3x3s. So we have the Yushin Little Magic stickered and stickerless. These are pretty good starter, but they're not magnetic, and they're kind of old. I have 1, 2, 3 Chi Warrior W's, and they're all different, but these are not very good starter 3x3s. They used to be, but they're not so much anymore because of magnetic, cheap 3x3s. We have a my dad had a friend that gave him this cube, that gave this cube to me. It's very bad. It's practically worse than a Rubik's. And yeah, I don't know. The color scheme is wrong. This is another cube. I have no idea how this got into my hands, but it's very bad, and I would not recommend it. I don't even know how I got most of these. Here is the very outdated GAN 356i Play. I'm pretty sure that's the one. The logo is pretty much worn out, even though I use this way less than, say, my GAN 11M Pro, but it still got worn out. I'm not sure why, I'm not sure how, maybe it's just old. There's much better, like Bluetooth cubes, so I wouldn't really recommend it. We have a Rubik that I have to be very careful with, so it doesn't just pop out. You know, I don't want that to happen. I have a sheep cube. I think that my grandpa gave me with the amazing color scheme. It's perfect, literally perfect. Yeah, we're just gonna leave that aside. The sheeps just have a certain thing. So this green sheep is lucky. This one is sad. So on. Here we have the old GAN 356 RSM. This was the best cube at the time. Now it's a pretty decent GAN cube, but there's a lot more recent cubes, like, for example, these two. This is the GAN 356M Lite. It's quite good. But then there is the GAN 11M Pro, which I am pretty sure most good cubers are using. We have the YJ MGC. I have no idea which version this is, but yeah, it's a YJ MGC. It's pretty decent. We have a GAN 356X. Oh man, I don't even know. I don't even remember when this was a thing, but this is kind of old. It's very smooth. We have this Cyclone Boys mini cube, which I use basically all the time. I literally use this more than my GAN 11M Pro because it's just fun to turn. I don't know why, but it's just, for me, it's satisfying to turn. And then we have the GAN 330M. It's not magnetic. So here we have the only 4x4 in my collection, which is the Volk 4M. I don't like it. So let's move on to 5x5s. I now have I have a my first 5x5, which it's kind of bad. It's the Qi beginner one. I don't know what the name is. Just I don't want to know. Here is the best 5x5 on the market by far. YJ-MDC. Basically all my mains from this point, 5x5 through 7x7, are MGC cubes because, you know, YJ did an amazing job. Yeah, 3x3s weren't as good as their big cubes, which are just astronomically better than anything else. Here we have the X-Men Shadow version 1. I think a lot of the old cubers would remember the days of when this used to be the best. But now, obviously, there's the YJ-MDC, which is just better. It's basically everyone uses this, and it's the best. Here we have I don't even want to know, like, this is probably some Mofang Jiaoshi beginner one. It's missing 2 caps, which, yeah, that's kind of, like, the caps literally popped off. Until I got the Beast, also known as the YJ-MGC 7x7. It's quite good. I wanted Spark, but this works very well. I've basically like doubled I've halved my PB from when I got the first 7x7 on my first try. So I think it's a win-win situation. Here we have the Mofang Jiaoshi 8x8. Or the MF8, which is actually a company name, but it's also this model, which is probably the best 8x8, if I'm not mistaken. There may have been an update that I don't know about where there's a better, like, 8x8, but yeah, I'm not sure about that. And there is the Yushin Little Magic 9x9, which is large. It's not magnetic. I don't expect it to be. But yeah, it's a cool 9x9 and is currently the biggest puzzle I own. So that's all the N/N cubes that I have. So yeah, I guess we can move on to the other WCA events. We have my main Megaminx, the GAN Megaminx. I think there's better Megaminxes that are cheaper, but for now I'm using this one. I have a non-magnetic X-Men Galaxy version 2. I don't even know the name of this. It's a Qi. It's an X-Men Galaxy. I don't know. It's not magnetic. I thought it would be magnetic, but it's not. So here I have 4 Pyramixes kind of lined up. I have the X-Men Bell version 1. I don't have the version 2. This is still not bad of a Pyraminx. It is a magnetic Megaminx as opposed to ball bearings, which is what used to be. Right here I have a ball bearing Pyraminx, which is my only one. It is the, I believe, just a Yushin Huanglong Pyraminx. I don't remember the names anymore. Here I have 2 GAN Pyramixes. One is the just a normal standard version, and I also have the enhanced version, which it is smoother and it has magnets here on the normal layers. Here I have one square one, which would be the Yushin Little Magic square one. I don't have Volt V2. My dad has my old Volt V1. Here I have the Moyu Aoyan's Cube, which used to be my main, but until I got the GAN Gans Cube Enhanced. I don't have the standard one. My dad has my X-Men Winnie's Cube that I got in a Christmas. I don't even remember which Christmas. So yeah, that is basically all my WCA events. Minus the clocks. The Rubik's clock, we all know that's really, really bad. I think we can all agree this is kind of bad. The only other option is the rather expensive but infinitely better Qi magnetic clock. It is absolutely amazing, and I don't know. There's basically no competition. There's a Shangshao clock, which is a lot cheaper, but it's not as good as the Qi clock. So now we are moving on to shape mods, which I have a lot of. So yeah, I guess we could move on to the windmill cube. I believe this is the windmill cube. Basically, it's this. It's a 3x3, except it's just offset a little. Here we have just a twist cube. Basically, it looks kind of like a 3x3, except it's just been twisted. Still functions properly. The edges look weird, but yeah. Here is a kind of shape mod. I don't really know what category this would be, but yeah, you line up everything, you turn the corner 45 degrees, and eventually things line up, and it turns kind of like a cube. Except these edges, these edges just get caught so often. I don't know how to. Like this, it gets caught like this, and it's so annoying. So I wouldn't really recommend solving this. I have, but it's quite hard. So yeah, that's that. Here is a Qi axis cube. This is another variation of 3x3 where the center is kind of on the edge. It's very bizarre. But overall, it's just a 3x3 solve with some orientation. Okay, now we have my only mirror blocks cube. This is what a mirror block is. It has no colors, but rather shapes that you can tell. I only have one. I don't even know which brand this is, but it's very, very smooth. It doesn't show your face very well as a mirror, but you can see it. Here we have a doubles cube, which I still cannot figure out for the life of me how to solve this. Basically, it's a cube, except it has centers. I don't know. I've looked at a few tutorials, but I can't solve it. Here is a seemingly very easy, but actually quite hard container cube. It's quite a challenge, and it looks very easy, but then when you find out that it shapeshifts kind of like that, you're gonna find yourself in a lot of trouble. So I almost just mixed it up there. Here we have what looks like a Pyraminx mod, but is actually a 3x3 mod. You can see the 3 layers. The center over here is blue and yellow, and it's a 3x3 except turned into a tetrahedron. It's quite fun, and it's a 3x3 with more orientation issues. Here we have my gear cubes. We have the, I don't want to name it because it was a pain. It popped twice, and I had to learn how to solve it. It was painful. So here's my original gear cube. It's not my first gear cube. My first gear cube was the gear ball, which is just the same thing, but just kind of in a more rounded shape. This is just the original one. It's a cube. Here we have, again, the same exact 3x3. It's just in a barrel, so the gear barrel. Here we have some tetrahedron mods over here. So we have the Pyramorphix, which is again just a 2x2 Megamorphix. No, this is a Mastermorphix. So this is a Pyramorphix, which is just a 2x2 version of this, 2x2 in a tetrahedron shape. Here we have this weird puzzle. It's face turning. It doesn't have corners, but yeah, it's kind of hard to solve. But you can just solve it like a Pyraminx that doesn't have tips. It's just that these faces can turn, and it's quite a pain to solve. Here we have another pain, but it's actually so much easier than I thought it was. I don't know what to call this, but it is very simple, though I thought it wasn't. So yeah, that's that. We have the like ancient coin Pyraminx. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, it's face turning Pyraminx. Except it's just turning these tips. Yeah, that's that. Now on to a classic shape mod, the Ivy Cube. The Ivy Cube is kind of a cube, but like kind of half of a cube. It has 2 corners per side. It's very easy. And here we have a Ivy Cube that Cubing Out Loud gave us as a free gift along with an unboxing I had recently. They're the same thing, it's just that one is smaller and has like transparent insides. Here we have 2 cuboids, the 2x2x3 and the 3x3x2. This is just a 3x3 except it has 2 layers and you can't get other sides than yellow. Here it's practically the same thing. They're pretty easy. Once you know how to solve this one, you basically know how to solve every other cuboid. Here are 2 puzzles that I can't quite figure out, but are kind of like 2x2s and 4x4s combined. You see, here we have 2x2, and it turns very weirdly. It has a weird axis, and some of these actually look like 4x4s. They're extremely greasy on the inside, and there's still grease on them in the inside that I can't get out. Here we have a super floppy, I believe that's the name. Basically a floppy cube, except it can turn halfway like this. It's very simple, although it might not seem like it. Yeah. We have my favorite puzzle and the best name ever given to any cube, the Yeet Ball. The Yeet Ball may look quite complicated, but if you look closely, it's actually just an Ivy Cube. You may be able to tell these 2 corners, they're the same thing, and then you have the eye in the middle. Of course, it's a Yeet Ball because I don't know why, but they named it a Yeet Ball. It's by YJ, just go ask YJ why they named it Yeet Ball. Here we have like a three color dodecahedron. I don't know what this is exactly called. It might actually be that. 3 colors, and these are not exactly like a Megaminx. Yeah, I haven't solved this or scrambled this ever, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna be easy to solve. It seems like a shapeshifter. I think it is. Yeah, it's a shapeshifter, and I don't like shapeshifters. So here we have the 1x2x3 Christmas tree that I got at Christmas, of course. Here we have a Devil's Eye, which is basically just a 3x3 where the faces here can turn. Here we have the fruit collection, lemon, orange, banana, apple, peach, I believe this is, and then there's pear. These are all fruits, and they're all just 3x3s, except for this one. This is not a 3x3, it's a 2x3, I believe. These all have very orientation issues, and these 2 are, like, I can't even solve them at all. So, now moving on to the not very puzzly puzzles. This is not really a shape mod of anything. This is the Nautilus Cube. It's very hard. It's a Nautilus shell, right, into different compartments. This is like 90, like a quarter, and then there's like descending. It's like a Nautilus shell. It has 3 layers, and I don't like it. Here is another unsolved puzzle, which I would solve this if it wasn't for the fact that I literally can't turn it. You have to turn the center. Oh, I managed to turn one side. I can't figure it out at all because I can't turn it fast. So here we have the actually not that bad Ox cube. I am an Ox. Yeah, Ox is very cute, and it's actually not a bad 2x2, as I say, and it runs dry. So here are the not actually puzzles. Here we have Rubik's Twist, which, oh god, this brings back old memories. So basically it's a line, except you can turn it into a ball. See how fast you can do it. We have another one, and we have the 72 ball, which got ripped in the process of setting everything up. Yeah, basically it's a Rubik's Twist times 3, and you can make 3 balls out of it. Then we have the orb. I don't know which company this is. I guess that might be a date or might not be. Basically, just push the balls into their compartments using the pentagons over here. Okay, now we have this puzzle. I am not exactly sure how long this has been. Yeah, it is many layers. It's quite fun. These 3 puzzles that I skipped over last time, we have just a barrel 3x3 that has 5 colors, yellow, green, and blue. It's like a kind of a shapeshifter. It's super easy. Here we have the fragile Tim Hortons cube. So in case you don't know what Tim Hortons is, it's kind of a coffee donut place with some extras. So this is the last cube in the collection so far. It has a different texture for each side. So this side has hearts, this side is flat, this side has like a necklace, I guess. This side is circles, squares, stars. You get the point. You can solve this with your eyes closed, but overall, yeah, it's just mostly just for texture. It's very weird to hold after you hold like a 3x3 for such a long time. But yeah, that is the entire collection, minus this. This is a Russian tangram that is not the usual tangram. In fact, it's not the tangram you may know. You might be able to see the lines. Yeah, you see the lines. It's not a typical tangram. The pieces are different. The orientation is different. Here we have a 15 puzzle, a 4x4 area, which should be 16 with a hole missing, and then you have to align everything like that, like so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You can align it in any which way. I just line it up like this, so it's like reading a book. And this, I do not remember. It says 15 on it. It's Russian. This is another 15 puzzle. Another puzzle to mention should be the Hungarian rings, which I won from a giveaway from another cuber. I am kind of glad to have this. I didn't expect it, but now I have this puzzle. You basically just move one ball and it will move the rings. I still haven't solved this. I'm pretty sure my dad has. I still haven't. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.